Good evening, y'all, and welcome back to Apron Strings. I am hungry for some cookies, so I'm going to make some really good chocolate chip cookies that actually have two kinds of chocolate in them and a secret way to take care of your oatmeal. So if y'all will gather on over to the butcher block, well, actually we're going to gather on over to the mixer and to the food processor. But I'm going to let y'all come along for the journey and see how to put these delicious cookies together. And the neat thing about them is, a lot of people don't like nuts in their cookies. The original recipe doesn't call for any nuts, so you can add them if you want to, but this is just a chocolate chip cookie that is delicious. It's amazing. So y'all eat enough of my stuff to know if I say it's good, it's good. Well, some people don't like good bell pepper, but good chocolate chip cookies, they're a winner every time. So y'all come on over here and let's get busy. Okay, to start with, because I like to get everything prepped ahead of time, I have grated 5 ounces of milk chocolate bars. So I've got that ready. You could chop it with a knife, but grating it evenly dispenses it better into the dough. And I've got 2½ cups of just regular oatmeal, and I'm gonna whiz it until it's a fine powder and make a oat flour out of it. So here we go. And you want it pretty fine because you're going to mix it in with your regular flour, and you don't want lumps of oats in there, you just want the flavor. Okay. That is pretty fine. Let me get it back in my... I love my Cuisinart. I bought one of the first ones that ever came out many years ago. And you know that thing's still working, but this was just on sale real cheap, and I was afraid it was going to quit working, so I got it several years ago. But they make a workhorse appliance. Not affiliated, just like their appliances. Alright, let's get over to the mixer where we can get our cookies made. Okay, to start with, we want to put 1½ sticks of butter. That's softened to room temperature. And we want 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup of solid shortening, and I use Crisco. Well, let me redo that one. Hang on. Okay, 1 wasted 1/4 of a cup of Crisco, but that's alright. It's better than having dirt or hair in your cookies. So I'm going to blend this. I need to get y'all where you can see down in the bowl. Okay, I'm adding 2 eggs. I've got the sugar and the butter and the Crisco blended really well. I thought I had the thing on, but I didn't. So now I've added 2 large eggs, and I'm going to cream that. Now I think that my camera was on for everything I've done, but while I'm here, I'm just going to tell y'all what I've done just in case it was off longer than I thought. I punched the button, but it didn't punch. I creamed my butter and my Crisco, and then I added my brown sugar and granulated sugar and creamed that. And then I added 2 eggs, and I've got that creamed really well. So now we're going to add in our flour, and I'm just going to add in like some of my oat flour. You could sift this together, and that's what you're supposed to do, but I'm not. So you got 2 cups of regular flour and 2½ cups of oats that's been ground into flour. And you have a half of a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon each of soda and baking powder. I'm going to go ahead and get those in. And we'll just keep adding here. I'm going to mix that together and add it in. Let me scrape down a little bit. It's pretty thick, but that's how cookie dough is supposed to be. Okay, now I'm going to add in my chocolate chips, which is about a cup of semi-sweet, and I had the mini chips. That's what I'm using. Then you want to add in your 5 to 5.5 ounces of grated Hershey's milk chocolate. And what this does, this just puts a little deep chocolate taste in your bites of cookies. Y'all will be amazed at what a difference it makes. Okay, I'm going to scrape it down. And what's not mixed, I'll scrape around with the spatula and mix it. And I'm going to meet y'all back over at the butcher block. Oh, I've got to put some vanilla in there. Oh my goodness. I hope it mixes in really well. It should. Let me get it. A teaspoon of vanilla. And this is vanilla that my friend Candy Weekly gave me that she made. It's good to have good friends. And I got a few of them, and I'm very thankful. Y'all know it's kind of like I always add onion and garlic to everything. You could add some pecans or walnuts to this, toasted or untoasted. You could add some coconut. My chocolate chip recipe that Mom gave me that we used forever had coconut in it. But this is really, I think Mama would have liked this one better. Just makes a wonderful cookie, and your people that don't like nuts won't eat them with nuts in them. But people that do like nuts will eat them without nuts in them. So that makes a pretty good trade-off if you're not sure. Go ahead and leave the pecans or walnuts out and let them, you know, make everybody happy. I'm going to take my scoop and just get me a scoop of dough and put it on my pan. I probably should make them smaller, that way they'd go further, but what's the difference in one big one and two little ones? Okay, I've got 2 dozen huge cookies here. The rest of it, I'll probably use the next smaller size cookie thingy. Make them a little bit smaller. Okay, these are going to go into a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm going to cut my convection bake on, so it's going to be a little bit less than that for me. I'm going to set my timer for about 6 minutes and check them. I've got one more little pan here. Now, whoever made cookies that didn't taste of the dough, I really don't believe you. This dough is delicious. Y'all can buy one of the giant Hershey bars. I bought a package of 6 little ones, and I used a little extra. I did put 5 of them. I think it was 5. They're 1.5 ounces per bar. Maybe I used 4 of them. I used 4 of them. And I've learned to use that glove if I'm grating something like that, where I don't grate my fingers, and it sure is good to have. Okay, got that. I'll have another pan, but I've got these ready. When those come out of the oven, I'll show you what they look like, and I'll get them all finished, and then I'll taste of them for you. Okay, my first pan of big ones is out. And I'm going to let it sit there for just a jiffy before I take them off of the pan. And my timer says the other one's ready. And I'm going to let it set a minute. And then I'll get the little pan in. So y'all just hang tight. Okay, I've got the big ones here cooling. Isn't that pretty? It's delicious. And I've got the other 2 trays of the small ones. I've got some more over there on another tray rack cooling, and then the small ones are in the oven, so we'll be done here shortly. I got them out of the oven, and these are the pans that I used the smaller cookie scoop on. And I really think I like this size better. They're just a little, they're about 3/4 as big as the other one maybe. And this is my big Wilton cookie scoop that I got at Joann's using a coupon. And I love it because you can scoop a couple at a time up. It's thin on the bottom and it'll go right up under your cookies, doesn't tear them up bad. See, it just gets right up under there and gets them. One more to go. Now I like lots of pecans or walnuts in my cookies, but I like these just fine with no nuts in them. So, and I'm going to tell y'all something. If you don't have an air bake cookie sheet, you need to get you one, because you can bake in a regular like jelly roll pan with parchment, and more than likely they're going to burn on the bottom if you don't watch them. But on these air bake pans, you seldom have burned bottoms on your cookies. So that's a really good investment. I never had heard of them, and I'd been baking. We called it baking for the public. Mom was pretty well known for her baking because she baked wedding cakes and catered weddings, and I've told y'all how I baked for people in town. And then my son married Terry, and she introduced me to air baked pans, and man, that was the best thing in the world. I've been using them ever since. That was 25 years ago. So if y'all don't have air baked pans, if you can find some, I'm assuming they still make them, you need to get you some. And you need one of these Wilton cookie scoops. That thing is the cat daddy. I got up this morning and I had a gift, a present. The good Lord had given me another day to live. And I just opened it up and I went outside and planted some tomato plants and piddled in my herb area. Y'all are gonna get to see that before long. My nephew went to Canton, which is a big flea market type place, and I asked him to look for me the big metal letters that I wanted herbs, the word herbs, to go over my red stove that's back in the herb, and he found them. So my next project is to figure out just exactly how I want to put them up. I think I want something like driftwood and put them on it and just hang it over the stove, but we'll see. But things are coming together, and y'all are going to like it much as I do, I think, and I'm excited about it. So that's what was in my box today, working in the yard a little bit, making some cookies, and I think April and her kids are coming up after a while, and that'll just put the bow on the top of the package. Good Lord bless and keep y'all. Take care of yourself. Be kind to everybody. Give everybody a smile, and they'll usually give you one back. And come right back here in a day or two, and we'll have something else good. And if you make this recipe, comment and let me know what you think about it. It is about the best chocolate chip recipe I've ever had. So let me know what you think. If you got a good one that you think will top it, will you send it to me and we'll make it, and then we'll let people make it, and we'll take a vote. I'll see y'all soon. I know that I usually share with you when I get good prizes in the mail. Well, I went to the post office yesterday, or Friday, and I had the sweetest letter, and it says Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it was a beautiful Mother's Day card. For someone special, God has chosen you and called you His own. God has blessed you and made your life a blessing. God has gifted you and rejoices in all that you are. And I got a big long letter from Cindy. Makes my heart just all warm and fuzzy. I just love it when y'all take time to actually write something and put it in the mail and send it to me. That takes time and effort, and that's a good reward for making videos for y'all to watch. And then the other day I had a little package in the mail, and I thought, I hadn't ordered anything. And I looked at it, and it's from Virginia Tompkins. And look at this pot holder. She makes these, and she said she thought I would like a red pot holder. Isn't that beautiful? And she said while she's watching TV at night, she'll do the stitching on them. And it's got the stuff in it to where it keeps it from burning your hands when you use it. Now y'all, this is probably just going to look pretty. I'm probably not going to use it much. But thank you, Virginia, so much for my pot holder. It's gorgeous. And thank you for all the effort and the work you put into making it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and tell you that it doesn't take much to be a blessing to somebody. You never know when somebody is absolutely on the bottom, and something like that perks them up to the top of the mountain. And that's exactly what happened to me. I've had some sad days and some down days, and days I wish I could change what was making me feel sad, but I don't have any control over other people or things, illnesses, how people act, or anything else. So I got a real good cheer up in the mail. So I just want to say thank you again, and how much I appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all watching. That's a blessing too, for somebody to take their time to watch me putter around in the kitchen and rattle and sometimes preach to you a little bit about this, that, or the other. I thank y'all for that. Anyway, y'all have a blessed week, and I'll see you several times this week. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll do some more stuff. But I just had to come back and add this little finale to the video and show y'all what I got in the mail. Good Lord bless you. Okay, y'all seen the progression of pictures from the cookies on the sheet to the cookies in the cookie jar and the lid on and off of it. This is a McCoy cookie cabin. And when my parents built their home in 1960, our pastor was Brother T.G. McNeely. And him and his wife gave Mother this cookie cabin in our housewarming. Now back then, people, when they'd build a new house, people would give them a housewarming, and that way they had a lot of new stuff to store it out in their new house with. And when we built this house and moved in, and I think it was 1984, Mother gave me the cookie cabin for my new house. So this cookie cabin has lots of memories to me. I don't know if any Charlotte Kay or Bubba or any of them watch my videos, but Sister McNeely gave Mama this in 1960 think it was 60. I was 8 years old when we moved in that house, so it would have been right around there. And I have treasured it. I don't use it much because I don't want it to get broken from the lid being picked up and taken off. But I thought that I would pay tribute to my mother today. It's Mother's Day, and I'm using her cookie cabin to put my cookies in. Now what she put in it more than anything else is those pecan rolled slice and bake cookies that I've showed y'all. But today I put Trisha Yearwood's chocolate chip cookies in it, and I think it made them just bump up a notch and taste a little bit better. I just wanted to share a little bit of my treasures with y'all today and my joy at having something that's been in my family for many, many years. I know that's back in the dinosaur days to some of y'all, but it was just a blink of the eye for me. It hadn't been long, it doesn't seem like, and then it seems like forever. Anyhow, I love my little McCoy cookie cabin. Do y'all have one, or has any of your folks got one? I've seen a few on eBay and around, but this one's mine, and this will be April's. I was going to give it to April when they bought their home, the one that flooded and burned, and she wanted me just to keep it because she didn't want it to get broken. Her kids were little then. So someday this will be April's, and she'll treasure it just like I do.